Yo, what up? We got some new stuff to talk about. We've got all the new champs just dropped, so I thought we would go through and check them out. I haven't actually looked at them, despite having access to the test server. I've just been a little busy and have not gone and looked at them yet. So I thought we'd come in and look at these champs together, kind of react to them together, and then we've got some changes to the giveaway system. You guys know I do a gym giveaway every month. We actually just did ours for last month, and I think this month, as starting August. Yeah, so starting this month, the giveaway system is going to be different. So we'll talk about that too a little later in the video. But I want to go through and look at these champs. I'm curious. Curious what's going on. So let's get it lined up properly here. There we go. All right, so Taya, a new Shadowkin. They're making Shadowkin deep, quick. They're treating Shadow. They're doing better with the Shadowkin rollout, I think, than they did with the Dwarves rollout. Dwarves took a while to kind of catch up and get deep, but here we're looking pretty good. So Void Epic, A1, decrease accuracy, A2, 3-hitter with potential to stack some poisons. That's pretty nice. A3, instantly activate poison and HP burn and puts heal reduction. Interesting. Single target poison and HP burn explosion. Okay. With poison stacking and an accuracy debuff. Interesting. With an accuracy lead. Okay. Gwyneth, a new dark elf. A1 AoE. Will not trigger counterattacks. That's an interesting mechanic. A2 is a one enemy hitter. Before attacking, has a chance of putting a weaken. Heals this champion by damage inflicted, and then heals all allies with any surplus heal. Okay. A3, transfer all debuffs from this champion to one target, then attacks the enemy. Ignores 10% of the target's defense for each debuff they're under. Interesting, dude. And then she's got a speed lead for Doom Tower. Why is it not fitting well? Let me do just a little bit. There we go. Maybe that'll be better. Oh, we've got Dark Kale. About time. 3-hitter. A1. Chance to activate 2 poison debuffs or 1 poison and 1 HP burn. So they're liking that mechanic for these champs that they're dropping here. A2 is an AoE with decreased attack. 75% chance of increasing the duration of all debuffs on the target. But it's an AoE. We'll have to see how that works, I reckon. 75% chance of placing 3 poisons and a poison sensitivity. Damn, dude. Dark Kale bringing the heat. Decreases the crit rate of enemies under 2 or more poison debuffs by 15%. If there are multiple champions on the team with this skill, only one will activate. Okay. Dude, Dark Kale's kind of dope, man. He's the best starter and now the best the best upgraded starter. Interesting. All right, Varl the Destroyer. First legendary we're looking at here. Can we get him all in there? Can. New Orc. A1 with lifesteal. AoE A2 with weaken. Decrease attack. Okay. A3 is an ignore some defense. Single target with destroy. Block damage if he kills an enemy. Increases this champion's attack by 10% each time they use an active skill. Stacks up to 100. Interesting. AoE decrease attack. Probably big damage on the A3. Okay, there's something there. Maybe there's something there. Can't fit all this guy's stuff in the screen. I don't know. Vassal? Vassal. We'll say Vassal. Force, Demon Spawn. I'm interested to see that full skin. We'll have to hop on the test server maybe later and see what's up. Attacks one enemy, places HP burn if they're under True Fear or decrease attack. Places shield on himself. All right, A2 AoE. Places true fear and decrease attack. A3 balances the HP of all allies. The HP levels of all allies will be brought up to the level of the ally with the highest HP. That's pretty nasty. That's pretty nasty because it's not a heal, which means heal block can't stop that. It's not a heal, it's a balancing. That's an interesting mechanic. I would like to see a little bit more of that in the game. That was kind of a relevant thing in Summoner's War. There was a 4-star, and she had that. She would balance HP rather than heal. It's an interesting thing to introduce, especially in a PvP. That'll be fun. He's got a passive, receives 20% less damage from Bannerlords, High Elves, and Sacred Order. If there are 2 or more Demon Spawn champions on the team alongside this champion, increases the crit damage of all Demon Spawn champions by 20%. That's pretty cool, man. This is what I wanted. This is what I've been wanting in this game for so long. I want faction synergies. I want rivalries, you know what I mean? Like, I want that kind of stuff. I feel like this game has always lended itself to that, and they've never done anything with it, so I'm really happy to see more of this. I hope they continue to do that. I think it could make the game so much more interesting. And actually, it could make the game's lore more interesting. You know what I mean? I feel like that could be a nice thing for them to keep doing. I hope they do. Basatha, I don't know, Lizard Man. A1 decrease attack. Strengthen and continuous heal. Shield. Okay. AoE, stun, and turn meter knockback. That's pretty sick. Get it down to a 4-turn cooldown. Whenever an enemy is revived, 75% chance of placing a stun on them for 1 turn. Oh, when an enemy is revived. Okay. I thought it said ally at first. That's an interesting thing, too. 31% HP lead. Nice. So good support. And then the punishment for getting revived. That's pretty nice. That could be nice. Yeah, I like that. That's interesting. All right, here we go. Leorius. New Void Skinwalker. 2-hitter. Decreased defense. Nice. A2 is an AoE. This champion is immune to crowd control when this skill is not on cooldown. Interesting. A3 is an AoE as well, with a True Fear and a Weaken. It's passive. Instantly places Unkillable on this champion for 1 turn before receiving a fatal hit. Damage increases as this champion's HP decreases. So maybe a Fury set. There's some potential for a Fury set to be particularly powerful on this guy. Swift parry also could be aggravating in conjunction with this passive. Crit rate by 24%. He seems fun. He seems like a fun champ. This is the fusion. AoE. I think we've talked about her. AoE speed down on the A1. Revive on death and increase defense on all allies. Swaps HP with an ally. And then there's a lot of qualifiers for that. Yeah, we've talked about her. She seems good. She seems good enough. Seems like a decent support. Not a bad candidate for a fusion, I would say. I think she's a decent fusion. I don't know that we're going to do her on the free-to-play, but we'll see. See how we feel. Fully heals the ally with the lowest HP whenever this champion is killed. Yeah, I think she's fun. I think she's not a bad candidate for a fusion. Magnar. New demon spawn. Defense down on the A1. AoE. Extra hit on enemies without HP burn. Stun on enemies with HP burn. They're really doing a lot of stuff with like poisons and HP burns. Interesting. Debuff spread. 2 random debuffs from the target and placing them on all enemies under HP burn debuffs. Okay. Heals by 1% of their max HP every time anyone in the battle takes damage from an HP burn. Okay, cool. Canelia. Cooldown. Wow. 2 turns on the A1. That's interesting. Has an 80% chance of placing a sleep on all enemies for 1 turn. Oh, and doesn't have to hit. That's nice. So affinity won't matter. Whenever an enemy loses a sleep debuff placed by this skill, 50% chance of replacing it with a fear debuff. Ooh, that's gross, dude. That's gross. Places a sleep debuff on an ally for 1 turn. Heals that ally by 50% of their max HP and fills their turn meter by 50% when the sleep debuff expires or gets removed. Heals that ally by 100% and completely fills the turn meter if sleep debuff is lost due to taking damage from an enemy. That's so interesting. What an interesting champ, dude. There's some really interesting things to be done there. You could put her and someone that cleanses in a team, in an arena team, with someone who does like big AoE damage and not have to worry about their speed. You know what I mean? Like go attack boots on somebody. Set him up with a defense break. So she comes in, puts him to sleep. The cleanser comes in and wakes him up, gives them the 50% turn meter. Like they'd be a lot easier to tune, and then they can come in and just smack. That's really interesting. And then the 100% and completely fills turn meter thing, that's also really nice. She's going to be a very interesting introduction into some content. She's going to be very interesting in arena. With a speed lead too, man. That's pretty cool. She's a cool champ. Jurogen. Decrease attack on the A1. Shield provoke on the A2. Ignores unkillable and block damage and some defense on the A3. 25% less damage from enemy when this champs. Okay, so it gets a little tougher as they get closer to death. Interesting. Tolf the Maim. 2-hitter. With lifesteal. Can't be critical. Why? Why? Attacks one enemy when not attacking bosses. Inflicts pure damage. Oh, that's why I can't. Okay. Decreases the target's HP to 50%. Wait a minute. When not attacking bosses, inflicts pure damage and decreases the target's HP to 50%. Inflicts damage based on this champion's max HP instead and places stun for 1 turn if the target is already lower than 50%. Inflicts damage based on this champion's max HP when attacking bosses. This attack can be critical. I don't know why the A1 can't be critical. That's kind of funky. The A2 is weird. That's an interesting mechanic. Decreases the values of all enemy shield buffs by 50% at the start of every turn. Then increases this champion's max HP by the same amount up to 25% of their max HP. Every turn? Huh. Huh. Okay. I'm here for it. Eurogrim? 3-hitter. 3-hitter with poisons. Potential to stack 3 poison. That Nethril swag, dude. Removes all debuffs from an ally, then heals them by 40% of their max HP. Places 3 poison debuffs on all enemies for 2 turns. Also places continuous heals. Holy shit, dude. And you can get that down to 3 turns? What? And a 20% speed lead? That's a lot of poisons, dude. Dude, poison explosion teams are about to get interesting. And clan boss. Just disable that A2 if you don't need it for your setup. And this dude just stays putting up poisons. Interesting. Very interesting. Ashwalker. A1 resets the cooldown if this attack kills an enemy of Devastator. Attacks one enemy 6% stun. Decreases the turn meters of all enemies by 10% if this attack is critical. Attacks all enemies. Places a weaken. Speed in all battles by 12%. Okay, putting a lot of speed leads out. Candle Guard. 40% chance of removing a buff. Stealing a buff if the target has 3 or more buffs. Okay. AoE with a weaken. They're doing a lot of just weaken and no defense break, which is fine. I know everybody can't have defense down and weaken, but whatever. Attack and crit rate buff on this champion. And then AoE. That'll be interesting. I wonder what our multipliers will be like. Hell Freak. 2-hitter with a defense down. Steals all buffs before attacking on the A2. That's pretty fun. Swaps HP with an enemy, then grants an extra turn. That's pretty nasty. That's pretty nasty. And grants an extra turn. Swift Parry. A good Swift Parry proc could make this champ pretty strong. Kind of the same with Astrolith, the way that I use Astrolith. Another speed lead. Lumberer. Attack down. Increase the duration of any decreased defense debuffs by 1 turn. A2. Another chance of placing a defense down. Oh, a chance of placing it. Okay, the A1 is decrease attack. Okay. Crit damage buff on this champion and then attacks all enemies. Alright. And then one less legendary at the bottom for some reason. Looks cool. Attacks one enemy. Chance of placing defense down. If the target's under HP burn, guaranteed. Okay, well not guaranteed, but 100% chance. A2's an AoE. Chance of placing an HP burn. Stun on targets with 50% turn meter or more. Decrease speed on... Man, that could be really nice for Spider. A3, damage increases by 40% for each active HP burn, up to 400% HP burn in the battle. Also has a 75% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 15%. This champ definitely seems to be built for Spider. And some Doom Tower stuff. Decreases the target's turn meter by an additional 15% for each active HP burn. Wow. Wow. What a skill. On a 3-turn cooldown, dude. And then the passive, whenever an ally receives a freeze, 50% chance of replacing it with an HP burn. This debuff cannot be blocked or removed. Whenever an ally or enemy is under HP burn, this champion is immune to crowd control. Man, what an interesting champ, dude. Huh. Interesting, man. I think that's a pretty cool lineup of new champs. I think there's some fun new mechanics in here. I'm happy to see the HP balancing making an appearance. There's some really good new poisoners. I think some of these champs are going to be really good. I'm excited to see how some of these champs get used and how they make their way into the game. Because I think they seem good. I'm excited. And then, I guess I could just bring that over. I'll leave it over here. I'll put a screenshot up. The updated giveaway thing. Let's talk about that real quick. Now that they're splitting it up. So we used to just be able to give away 5,400 gems as a tier 3. There's different tiers of the content creator program. And in the one I'm in, I could just give away 5,400 gems. So 10 of you would win 540 gems. Now it looks like they're splitting it up. So there's a group of 5 now that will still win 540 gems. And then there's another group of 5 that'll win 540 gems, a Void Shard, and an Epic Tome. So there's a little bit of a better version for 5 of you now. I think she'll still send them out roughly whenever I turn them in. But yeah, so a little bit of a change. So y'all can win some shards, some void shards, and some epic tomes now. That's pretty cool. Um, so yeah, we'll do that this month. I'll announce some of that in some upcoming videos. So that'll be good. That's fun. I'm glad they're adding some stuff to it. Maybe over a little bit more time, maybe we can get one slot that can win like a legendary tome or something. I don't know. Maybe we'll push for that a little bit. See what we can do. But yeah, that's it. I'm excited about these new champs. Giveaway system seems dope. Like it's better. It's improvement. We're always here for improvement. Let me know what you guys think about these new champs. Is there anyone you're particularly excited about? I'm really interested in this one down here, this new Void Skinwalker, and then I believe it was this dude seems really interesting with all these poisons. That's a lot of poisons. And then this chick also seems very interesting. I'm very interested to see how she gets used. Oh, she's a dwarf too. Wow, interesting. I just looked at her and assumed she was Knight's Rev. Hmm. Cool, man. That's a cool addition to the dwarves. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know who y'all are excited to see. That's it. Appreciate y'all watching. Later.